Well, happy Thanksgiving 2025. And to celebrate the holiday, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Thanksgiving TV special, which is Garfield's Thanksgiving. Released in 1989, and man, we stumbled upon this by accident. I didn't even know there was even going to be a Thanksgiving special. Me and my brother were just flipping through the channels. We caught the beginning. We got a VHS. We put it in, and we hit record right whenever the opening was over, and we saw the TV spot for Prancer. So from the TV spot to the rest of the special is what we had recorded. We did not have the beginning of it. Oh man, fortunately, someone did post the original airing with the commercial breaks on YouTube, so got another chance to see that again after we lost the VHS. I really want those VHSs back. There's so many memories with them. But at least this time I got the special with the beginning included, so whoever it was who posted that up, thanks man, you're a sport. Well, Garfield's Thanksgiving starts off with Garfield wanting breakfast while John is trying to sleep. He starts playing music, and then Odie gets the cymbals in. After Garfield has breakfast, he decides to be a critic and tells him with the pancakes, less pan, more cakes. Then when he's about to kick Odie until he looks at the calendar, and when he sees that he's got a vet appointment, he tears it off and sees that tomorrow's Thanksgiving. So it shows the calendar to John. They go to the grocery store, and man, they load up with so many groceries. I'm actually trying to figure out how the heck did they fit all that in their car. That thing is piled! Well, Garfield starts distracting John by showing him the food that they're going to be having, but Garfield notices they're not going home. And then John says, "We're going to the vet," and then Garfield screams, the car goes out, like we control it, and it hits a building, backs up, and drives off. And that's when we're at the vet with all these people with other pets, and one of them's a fish, and the guy's holding it on his lap. I think I know what's wrong. You got in the fish tank, you idiot. Well, Garfield goes and meets Liz, but Liz, of course, is not fond of John. She's like, "That's Dr. Wilson." And, well, she starts testing Garfield's blood pressure, but, okay, before that, she starts doing all this to him, making him very uncomfortable, putting the kitty cat in pain while John's trying to get a date from her. And then when she puts the pressure thing first, his hand blows up, and he's going, he starts blowing up. And when Liz finally has had it with John trying to go out with her, he decides to hold his breath until she finally caves. Well, he's holding his breath and holding his breath and holding his breath, and then Liz tells John that Garfield is as healthy of a horse, but he's as big as a horse. He has to go on a diet. And then Liz is giving all these advice, and Garfield's going crazy. And then finally it ends with Garfield going, "Ah! Ah!" That's when John finally releases his breath. It passes, well, it doesn't pass, he collapses, but Liz caves and decides to go out with him. Excuse me. Okay. John invites her to Thanksgiving for a big Thanksgiving dinner, but it's still daytime, so I'm guessing it's lunch because usually the sun sets around this time of the year before around 5. Well, anyway. Well, he leaves, but Liz's like, "Mr. Arbuckle, you forgot your cat." He grabs Garfield. Well, they go home. Garfield only gets half a leaf of lettuce for lunch, which is really annoying, and John actually already has food prepared. He just walks inside, and then suddenly there's a plate. He's sitting down eating the lunch. I'm like, where the heck did that plate come from? Did he already have it out? I don't know. Well, Garfield tries to sneak into the kitchen to get some food, but Odie now has got a whistle, and he's going to be watching Garfield and making sure that he does not cheat on his diet. This annoys Garfield, but he tries to sneak in some food. He's got these 4 jars ahead of him, big, little big, not so big, small. Every time he pulls the lid off, he pops out blowing the whistle. He keeps doing it. It's like, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then eventually 3 heads rise up, and Garfield closes and goes, "My lack of food must be maybe affecting my imagination or making me hallucinate." And everything. He finally pulls one more time, and then Odie comes out and goes crazy with that whistle. That's when Garfield takes off. Well, Garfield meets with John. John basically is now getting ready to prepare Thanksgiving. He flat forgot to take the turkey out and defrost it, and he does everything wrong. He reads rub butter on skin. He goes, "I don't know what that will do, but good what that will do, but okay." He starts rubbing up with the rub skin with butter. That's what he says. Okay. Then he puts it in the oven, sets it for 500 degrees, hoping that will speed everything up. And when it comes to the salad, he just throws all the vegetables on top of each other, adds water, and that's it. Garfield gets mad, so he contaminates it. I forgot what it was, but I'll put it up whenever I put this video up with the subtitles. Okay. Garfield basically is now helping John with the wardrobe. Every time John doesn't know what to wear, he goes in, comes out, Garfield will go, pfft, and when he comes back in, he keeps going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. He even comes out like Popeye. I don't even want to know why he's got a ballerina tutu. Then finally, Garfield just goes, why don't you just dress it yourself? He goes, maybe I just dress it myself. He comes out. He forgot to put pants on. And when he goes and meets Liz, she goes, nice polka-dotted boxer shorts. He runs back, gets mad at Garfield. Garfield gets mad at him. So he puts his pants on, he zips it up. Just pulls the zipper up. And then he opens the door, and Liz comes in. But when John decides to check on dinner, well, the thing is, though, yeah, Garfield talks with Liz, and she takes him off the diet, but he has to do exercise. So he's thrilled that he's off the diet, but when he remembers the exercise, he goes, oh no! And of course, when she's going over the diet, it's that cliche where every time she says a symptom or something, he immediately has it. Well, Garfield goes into the kitchen to check on John. John realizes the turkey is still frozen. He picks it up, and when he lets it go, it just drops and makes that slam sound effect. Garfield gets an idea. He gives John the phone. He gives him all this stuff, and then finally he shows a picture of Grandma, and that's when John realizes, okay, I'll call Grandma. But of course, he decides to take all the credit for himself, which annoys Garfield. He calls Grandma, and he goes, see you in a few. You hear that motorcycle pull? She is there in warp speed. The door opens up. We get that guitar. Oh, with that motorcycle Grandma with the helmet on, but she takes it off. And then she gets back into her energetic self. She shoos John out, and she gets to work on fixing the Thanksgiving feast in record speed. She uses that chainsaw to cut the frozen turkey. She prepares everything. She even does the old juggling and magically gets everything in the plates. She picks all the stuff up and then sets the table. It's ding, 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 ding. Oh my goodness gracious, is she fast! Meanwhile, John is just telling Liz about the history of Thanksgiving and all this stuff. And this is also what introduced me about the fact that Canada celebrates Thanksgiving on the second Monday in October. I didn't know that until I saw this special. Well, Grandma slips out. John and Liz see the feast. Liz goes, John, I'm quite impressed. So am I. They have the lovely dinner. And you get treated to a nice song, heartwarming song. Garfield steals John's food. Odie slurps Liz's corn, so she just gives it to Odie. And after that, everything is just nice and perfect. Happy ending. Liz thanks John, and she says she'll be here next year before the dinner, but after the lecture. She gives him a kiss goodbye, so he's thankful for Grandma. And then they decide to go outside and work off the food, but Odie can't stand up, so John has to put him on a diet, so Garfield becomes his personal trainer. It ends with Garfield making Odie do push-ups. And that's Garfield's Thanksgiving, the greatest Thanksgiving special in animated history. I love this special. I couldn't tell you how many times I watched it on that VHS, never fast-forwarding the commercials, but I was so annoyed we never got the beginning, but in the end, it still was enough to make me smile. And once again, I thank whoever it was who put the full video up on YouTube. So 2 thumbs way up for you for doing that and helping me relive all those beautiful memories. Well, happy Thanksgiving 2025, and I hope you fill your bellies with plenty of turkey stuffing and everything else that's on the table. Well, good night, and goodbye, and I'll see you on December 1st when I start my Christmas tradition videos.